What does a man actually get out of marriage?
For me, nothing, honestly. I think marriage was created mainly for property and inheritance, all of that, so that no one would be left with nothing. In the end, at its core, marriage is mainly a legal institution. But if you look at it as a whole, why does a man need a woman and a woman need a man? Here it takes on a completely different meaning. But if you look at it through the lens of nature rather than social rules, then a very profound meaning emerges in the existence of a union between a man and a woman. A woman is the person who shows a man all his flaws, constantly reminds him of his weaknesses, even if he has forgotten about them, and in doing so pushes him to grow. Many men often complain, saying, she drove me absolutely crazy. But in reality, she was intentionally challenging and provoking you to step up as a man. Often, this does not necessarily translate to violence or aggression. It is more about building character and resilience while successfully reaching the specific objectives you came here to accomplish, or the ones you have set for yourself. To put it in another way, what she is really saying is that points out your blind spots. A woman, in her own way, as a man grows, should understand that her growth directly depends on the man's growth. Unfortunately, from my personal observations, that's just how everything is arranged. I see this from my own experience that as soon as I start to feel that I've crossed some kind of barrier, reached a new level, and so on, then in some strange and inexplicable way, my other half rises as well. My partner, the person I share my life with. But that's not important. What matters is that men and women need each other. That's how we're wired. And when we try to dominate one another, someone might even take my words to mean that a woman should serve a man. No, in reality, each person is a self-sufficient individual. You just need to understand that in order for us to reach our biggest goals, we have to work together as a union, not fight, not dominate, not try to show off who's cooler and so on. This is a very important point. Yes, for the most part, yes. And do you know why? Because there are cultures, there are countries and so on where for the most part a woman ultimately just ends up emotionally deprived due to a lack of upbringing from the man himself. But to be perfectly fair and honest, I really want to say that if a woman deliberately and calculatedly tricks a man into marriage just so she can get something significant from him later on, essentially to take half of his entire kingdom, so to speak, then that is a completely different situation altogether.
There are also men who marry a woman just because she's wealthy and established, you know?
No, well, of course, but let's put it this way, some things happen more, some less, but it happens on both sides because we've mixed up our roles. Everyone plays their own role, but if you want to play the role of a man, no one is against it. There are men who really love being controlled by their partner. You know, you can play that role too. No one is forbidding you. But you talk as if someone is forbidding you to do it. The only ones forbidding you are those who refuse to be controlled by their partner. That's all there is to it. It's just a different type of man. They have different goals, that's all. They've set themselves different goals in order to fully submit to their partner. And someone else fully embraces being under her control, enjoys it, and reaches the same goal that way. But that's his way. That doesn't make him wrong, it just makes him different. Just like women. They're different. Some want to dominate, and others, a woman says, I don't need that. Let that remain the man's prerogative. Why should I get involved in that? I'm not interested in it, and there are women who are interested in it. They say, no, I want complete equality, you understand?
So the question is, it turns out that marriage is not beneficial for men, but it is beneficial for women in most cases. Tell me, since you said you remembered, what else is marriage beneficial for?
Marriage is also beneficial for the following reasons. Immigration and citizenship can be one reason. For a man, what else is beneficial? Although, to be fair, it can be just as beneficial for a woman. She might also find herself in such a situation. In certain situations, like during a crisis or armed conflict, if a woman has several young children to care for, or if she has certain physical or mental disabilities, then being legally married can be highly advantageous and protective for her. But honestly, well, it's not hard to come up with examples, so this is a point on which marriage would be beneficial for a man.
And tell me, does the same principle apply for women as well?
For women, it's a kind of safety net.
What kind?
Well, let me explain. Not because they are somehow lacking or anything like that. No, no, not at all. I'm just saying that in the end, it's so she doesn't end up with nothing.
With what?
Well, back when she diligently took care of the entire household, when she devotedly looked after their young child, and he went out and earned all that money, let's say his many millions, and then he suddenly left. She would certainly have a very strong legal right to claim something significant for herself. If they're not married, then she can't claim anything.
What millions? We're talking about what millions? Not everyone earns millions in marriage these days.
No, I'm just telling you that even if they earn something, this is a legal issue.
Right now, you're talking about a certain caste, a minority. But I'm saying, in most cases, how is marriage beneficial for a woman? Well, how? If in some cases, in most cases, women, wait, husbands don't earn money in marriage, is that it? Or their salary is average, meaning you can't really survive on it, even one salary isn't enough. So, how is marriage beneficial for a woman in this case?
Well, in this case, if there is no jointly acquired property, let's put it this way, if there isn't, then it's not beneficial. Think about this situation. Let's say a man is deployed overseas or serving in a dangerous situation, and his partner desperately needs to get information about him. Legally, you would need to prove that you are someone to me, either a first-degree relative or my wife. If you're just my girlfriend or my partner living with me, or anything else, legally you can't find out anything about me. They can just send you away anywhere, tell you to get lost. That is, you can't represent my interests. Is that clear?
Got it.
So legally only in those specific cases. Well, let's put it this way. I think this too will fade into the background over time.
Do you think the institution of marriage will be completely destroyed, or will something be preserved?
Something will remain, but in a different form, in a partnership form. I no longer see it as dominant. It's more like two people moving toward a certain goal together.
And
Not always toward the man's goal. Sometimes two people come together to pursue the woman's goal, the one she has set for herself. That happens too.
is that a bad thing?
It's good. Why? That's the most ideal scenario. Because no one is claiming the pedestal and everyone fulfills their role according to the agreements made from the start. Do you understand? How does the struggle for the throne begin? Who owes what and who is obligated to do what? That's it. That's where the conflict lies. In reality, it's selfishness and a sense of self-importance, satisfying only these two, let's say, fundamental aspects of our personality. Right? That's it. A sense of self-importance. In order to feel that you are worth something and that you have achieved something, it's about dominating one another. In reality, this only makes you tread water. When you find a compromise, only then are you truly moving toward the goals you have set.